Hello, so I wanted to do a video again on knife bans and things like that, and explain why I am always against the idea of banning things, without much thought put into it. Because I've been accused by some people of being a really nasty, horrible person that doesn't care that people die with these things. You see, the issue is that if we use the logic that if people die by something we must therefore ban it, we'll have to ban absolutely everything. Because if let's just assume we're going to go by that logic, so if something results in people's deaths, it has to be banned. Right, I think we'll have to ban cars really quickly, because obviously cars cause accidents all the time. I think motor-related deaths are probably the most common ones in the world for most countries. So obviously we'd have to ban all cars, so we wouldn't be able to get anywhere. There's already a driving licence for cars, but apparently that's not enough. We'd have to ban water as well, because people can drown in that, there's lots of risk with water. You'd have to ban electricity because people are able to electrocute themselves with that. You'd have to ban heating and gas, that sort of stuff, because, if you want to heat your home with gas, that could leak, kill you. So I don't think it's a very good line of logic to go down saying if something can result in somebody's death, it should be banned. Now, if you're on about things that could be used maliciously, the problem is, like, this is a point I really want to get across, which I don't think a lot of people grasp, is that, let's say I want to go out and kill somebody, and it's illegal for me to have this knife, and I don't know what the sentence is for having a knife that's illegal, like let's say a year or something like that in prison. But I want to murder somebody, and by murdering somebody I have like a life imprisonment, yeah? Or something similar in most countries, because murder is considered one of the worst crimes. So I'm willing to commit a crime that could land me in prison for life, but apparently I'm going to be more concerned that the item I'm using is banned, and this is where I really don't understand the logic behind lots of these sort of people who are very keen on banning things, because unless you haven't noticed, criminals don't really care that they're breaking the law, by extension of it being a crime, them being criminals. That just really gets to me, when people were saying, yeah, but if we banned it, it wouldn't be a problem anymore. Well, you can look at the war on drugs for that, and lots of things to do with that. Lots and lots of drugs are banned, but that doesn't mean that people don't make massive amounts of money on the black market selling them, funding lots of illegal activities and things like that. Similarly to drugs with prostitution. Prostitution is illegal in most Western countries, so it's a lot more dangerous for the women doing it. It'd be a lot safer for them if they could do it in a licensed brothel where it could all be regulated and everything else, but it's actually made more dangerous for the people who are going to do it. Now, the thing is, it's like saying with prostitution, if you make that illegal, that doesn't mean that some women won't, will suddenly say, well, that's okay, I'm really cold or starving or something, but, I can't do sex work now because it's illegal. No, they'll do it anyway, and it's just more dangerous. And lots of women do it just because it's very good money. So, the point is that, obviously, banning things does not result in them going away. It just forces them into an area, where there's a lot less regulation and everything else on them. And as I've said many times, and lots of other very good YouTubers have covered, if somebody goes out with the intention of stabbing somebody, they usually use a very cheap disposable knife, like a kitchen knife, not anything fancy that's all the time on the banned list. So, I don't understand the people either who say they're okay with, oh, if somebody gets stabbed with a kitchen knife, that's fine. But if they got stabbed with something more interesting, we should ban them, but it's not the kitchen knives. Oh, then you're only addressing a small part of the crime statistic. And another thing, this will be very controversial, but the way I feel it now, obviously innocent people now and again are killed in crimes, but a lot of the time when it's gang-related violence, in my opinion, lots of the people who are doing it have it coming, because if they're going out with the intention of stabbing somebody, the person in the other gang is going out with the intention of stabbing somebody, one of those two people stabs each other, they're kind of equal, aren't they? They're both criminals. So that's not really somebody who's contributing to society, and I'm not saying people like that can't change, but when you have people, with the intention of going out and murdering people, if they get killed in return, that's not really a big loss to society. So for that reason, why should I worry about their deaths? Now, if it's a totally innocent person that gets killed, in a robbing, like mugging gone bad or something like that, or some other sort of violent crime, then yes, that is absolutely horrible. But, you see, I don't have any sympathy, and I'm not going to pretend I do, for people who go out with the intention of committing violent crimes and dying themselves. Why should I care about that? But you also have to question, do you really want to give governments more power? Because throughout history you can see what happens when you let governments have more and more power, and it doesn't normally end well for the citizens. So therefore, is it a good idea to let your government have more power? Because the thing is, they can start off by banning things that you don't actually like, but then it often goes further, because they can't just stop at, you know, one thing. It's the reason, you know, with free speech, while you say, you know, I support somebody's right for free speech even if I disagree with what they say, because you know that if you start limiting free speech, you don't have free speech anymore. So, I know this is a bit of a rant video and it's getting quite tired talking about all this, but I will address this in a video point, because when somebody just starts insulting me non-stop, and saying, oh, you're a heartless evil bastard because you don't care about some gangbanger that was stabbed, well, I'm not going to even give you the satisfaction of a reply to that, but hopefully this video addresses why. You can't trust governments to efficiently ban things. There's normally lots of ulterior motives hidden behind lots of bans, regardless of what it's on. And do you really want to start going down the road where you ban more and more things? And as well, you know, with the argument, if something can kill somebody, we should ban it. Well, if we go down that road again, you'd have to live in a teepee in the woods or something, because you can pretty much die from anything. So anyway, that's my rant over. Hopefully you can understand why I felt the need to do this, but again, you need to treat the, you know, banning something as just treating a symptom, really, of a bigger problem. It's not actually treating the problem at large, which can be poverty. You know, there's lots of reasons for it. I'm not somebody who's an expert on that, of course, but, you know, it's better to address the actual problems themselves rather than pretending you're doing something as a politician and, you know, banning the symptom of it, if that makes sense.